Good evening, students. Today, we are going to discuss about the database connectivity using Python. So, what sort of stuff is available in the Python in order to communicate with the database like MySQL? So, you have the different sort of stuff like MySQL connector Python, PyMySQL, MySQL DB, MySQL client, our SQL. These are all of the stuff is available using the Python. You can communicate with the MySQL database. So you can choose any of the modules which are mentioned above as per your requirements. But I recommend two of the modules. One is MySQL connector Python and PyMySQL. These are the two modules you can use to communicate with the MySQL. So first you have to install the MySQL database, and then you have to install this MySQL connector Python module in your Python environment. So in order to install this MySQL connector Python, you have to go to command prompt, and then you have to give the command pip install MySQL connector Python. This is the module you have to install. If it is already installed, so definitely it will show the requirement is already satisfied, otherwise it is going to install. So this is what the module you have to install in you have to add to your Python environment, so that your Python program can interact with the your MySQL database. Now once you have installed this, you should also install the MySQL database. MySQL database, if you already installed, how you can check is, again you have to go to the command prompt. There you have to give the command mysql -u. The user is root, and it is going to ask the password. There you have to enter the password whatever you have provided during the installation. So thereby it will connect it to your MySQL database, and you can see what are all the databases you have available in your MySQL DB. If you want to shift to any DB, then you can give use DB Naresh. Oh, okay, so use database Naresh. Oh, sorry. Use Naresh. Use Naresh, so that it will be shifted to the respective database. There if you want to create any table, yes, you can create the table. So here I am going to create the one temp table. So there I am going to create with varchar 10. So thereby I have created a one table. So like this, you have to check whether the MySQL database is available in your system or not. First you have to install the Python MySQL connector Python module. Then after you have to install the MySQL database in your system, and then you have to verify whether it has been installed properly or not by following the following steps which I have shown so far. Now straight away let us go into the actual one. Now listen, whatever the two modules I have suggested there, the first one is MySQL connector Python. It is purely Python, so it can execute the database queries through Python. So through your Python code you can create the database, you can create the tables, you can insert the data into the tables, you can update the table, you can delete the table, what sort of DML operations, the database manipulation language commands you want to execute, you can execute with the help of this Python. So it is Python 3 compatible and which is actively maintained. Now, if you see the actual Python database connectivity, first you will return a one Python application. There, the first step is you are going to call the connect method. This connect method is available under connector module. The connector module is available under MySQL module. So once you connect to the database, there your MySQL connector Python will send the connection request to your MySQL database. Once it is getting connected, then it is communicated through MySQL connector Python. Then you are going to create the, you are going to call the cursor method. So then after you are calling the cursor method, then you are going to execute the required SQL query using execute method, and whatever the result is there, that result will be sent. This is what exactly is happened in Python database connectivity. If you see the diagram itself, you can easily understand the 6 steps in your uh, connectivity with MySQL database using Python. The first one is we are going to call the connect method, then connection request is established, then once it is connected we will call the cursor method. So once the cursor is called, then we will call the what execute method, thereby we can execute the SQL query, and whatever the result is there, that result we can show through the Python application. These are the standard 6 steps in your Python database connectivity. Now the first step is we have to connect to the database, so which can be done with the help of the connect. So what are the requirements we need for the connect method? Means for the connect method, generally three arguments are mandatory. One is the username, what is the username of your database, and what is the password for it, and what is the host name. Generally the host name, either we will give the local host or the standard IP address is 127.0.0.1 or 0.0.0. Sometimes we will give 1, sometimes we will give 0.0.0. And if you want to directly connect to your database, if you know the database name itself, straight away you can pass the database name also to the connect method. But whereas the first three arguments are mandatory: username, password and host name. The database name is what? Optional. Now this is what I have mentioned. First you have to install the MySQL connector module. How you can install is, you can execute the pip install mysql connector python, thereby it will install the MySQL connector module, so that you can use the stuff which is available under MySQL connector Python module. Whatever the stuff is available, that stuff you can use. So once it is installed, what is the module is available for you? Means that a module is mysql.connector, so which will facilitate you to communicate with the MySQL database. So the first and foremost step in the Python MySQL database connectivity is calling the connect method. So under connector module we will have this connect method. So the first argument we are going to give the host. There you can provide the local host or the IP address, and the second argument is the user, the third argument is the password, the fourth argument is optional one. There you can mention the what? Database. There you can mention the what? Database. Then after I told you the cursor method. First, in order to perform various SQL operations, first you have to create the cursor object. That cursor object you can call the cursor method with the help of the object which is written by the connect method. So then after whatever the object is written by the cursor using which we can call the execute method, there we can provide the what the SQL statements. So this execute method will execute the actual SQL query and return the result. And once you execute your SQL query, if you want to fetch the result, so yeah, there are the methods are there: fetch all, fetch one, fetch many. These are the methods are there. Using these methods you can read the query result. You can read the query result. The methods are like what: fetch all, fetch one, fetch many. And so once the work is over, you can close the cursor and then you can close the connection object using the close method. Now here is the one simple example of creating the database called my database. So let us execute this in our Python program. Just let me copy this code, copy, and then I'm going to open the Python IDLE. So let me open this Python IDLE, click on the file and click on the new. There, here I'm going to paste it. Then let me save this program. uh, Let me save it on the desktop. So make it as a database. Let us make it as what? The first one, creation of the database, right? One. Yeah, replace it. Now what is the use of this program? Using this program we can create the what? Database. Creation of database using Python. Creation of database using Python. The first one, what we have to do, we have to import the what? Required module. So we have imported. Then after, what we have to do, call connect method. Call connect method. So this connect method have the three mandatory arguments. The first argument is the host, where you can provide the local host or the IP address, and the second argument is the username. So the username for my MySQL database is root, and also during the installation I have mentioned the password as also at what? Root. So whatever that password is there, I have mentioned the password. Then after, so let me check what exactly this the connection object is hold. So I'm just printing this my db, my db. Then after, what I'm doing, I'm just creating the what? Cursor object. Creating the cursor object, thereby it will facilitate the what? SQL operations. Now then after, what I am doing, executing the SQL command. Executing the SQL command by calling the what? Execute method. Executing the SQL command. So this is what the one simple program, where what I am doing is I'm trying to create a one database. So let me create the database IT. So my database name is IT section C. My database name is what? IT section C. So if you see the command create database IT section C, I am saving it. So let me execute this program. Click on run. Click on run module. Yes. So this is what the connector object, and I want to check whether the database has been created or not. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to the command prompt. So let me connect to the my MySQL database. Hyphen u, username is what? Root. Let me enter the password. The password also I have entered. I just want to check whether the database has been created or not. So you can type the command show databases. Yes, here IT section C database has been created. IT section C database has been created. So in this program, what we have learned, how to create a database. How to create a database. So this is the simple code which illustrate how to create a database under MySQL database. MySQL database, right? Now, so let us move to the topic next. Now once the database connectivity we have seen, now I want to see what are the databases have been so far created. So I already executed what is the command show databases. Now instead of connecting to the database, I just want to check what are the databases are there in my MySQL database. This you can do with the help of a Python snippet, right? So let us copy this code. Again I'm copying this code. Again what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one more program, Python new file. Here I'm pasting it. Let me save this. Save as let me save this as second Python. Now here localhost, what is my username? My username is what? Root. And my password is root. Password is root. So then after I have created the cursor object, then after I am executing the show database. Now here some alignment problem. I'm also fixed the alignment problem also. Now let me execute this run module. Yeah, so far what are the databases are there? Information underscore schema is there. IT section C is the one database. MySQL is the another database. Naresh is the another database. Performance underscore schema and sys. These are the databases so far created in my MySQL DB. MySQL DB. So this is what the program I have used to check what are the databases so far created. Now let me continue my session. Now how to the next one, how to create the a table and then how to insert the data into the table. So what I'm going to do here is the example. Let me copy this code, then copy. So let me take one more new file. Let me take 3 new file, paste it. Let me save it. Save this as 3. Okay. Now here what is the username? The username is what? Root. And the password is what? Root. So what is my database? My database is IT section C. IT section C. So then after I have created my cursor object here, I have created a one table called customers. What is the syntax? Create table customers, where it is having the fields name, varchar of 255 and address 255. Then after I am trying to create a one more SQL statements. Thereby I want to insert some data. Insert into customers name comma address value percentages since both are the what string type. Then after what are the values I have provided here? John and highway 21. Then after I am going to execute that SQL statement. Once my work is over, what I am going to do, I already told you. I can close my cursor and I can close my connection object. I can close my connection object. Right now, yes, there is a problem. Undetermined line database. Yeah. Okay. Now save it. Okay. This also we will make it change. Let's save this. Click on run module. Yeah, again there is a problem with double quotes. Yeah, let me change all the double quotes so that right. Then let me save this and click on run module. Yeah, what is this? save this and then let me execute this. Yeah, now the program is successfully executed. Now I want to check whether the data has been inserted or not. So again, so what I'm going to do is cmd, I'm going to connect to my database mysql -u, the username is root -p, the password I'm going to enter. Then first let me check what all the databases are there. So I have to use which database? I have to use the database called IT section C. Now I shifted to IT section C. There I want to check what are all the tables are there. See, there is a table is there, customer table. Now what are the fields are there under customer table? Just you can give description. There are the under the customer table there are the two columns are there. One is the name and address. Now I want to check what is the data is there under customer table. Yeah, so let me check empty set customers, empty set, the data has been not inserted. Wait, now I am that run module. Yeah, there is a error since the table is already available. So when we are executing, the table will be created only one time. So next time when we are executing it, we should not execute this. We have to keep it under comment. And let me, yeah, something has been given. Okay, let me execute for one more time. Yeah, now let me come to here, select star from customers, no data has been inserted. So why no data has been inserted? Is this select, is this insert command is executing properly? Okay,